Hello, everybody.
Hi everyone. Welcome to the SpongeBob speedrun. I'm Rubbertoe, and I've got my Pookie here.
I'm Azul Tight. You can just call me Azul.
You can just call me Rubber. You can just call me Toe. Roberto. Robber is fine too. We're gonna be playing SpongeBob, Battle for Bikini Bottom. We're gonna be doing the any percent category. We play on the original Xbox because we play off the hard drive because of consistent loads, and yeah, I guess it's just a matter of starting here, huh?
Let's get it going.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna give a countdown here. I think we're good, right? We're good to go?
Yep.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Alright.
So for those of you not familiar with this game, Battle for Bikini Bottom is a 3D collectathon platformer that was released in 2003, which is primarily a love letter to the first 3 seasons of the show released at the time. We're gonna get started here by just quickly collecting all the shinies available immediately because the door to access the rest of the game is locked behind one golden spatula, the main collectible of the game, with shinies, which I mentioned earlier, being like one of the main side collectibles in the game, which is like a form of currency here.
Yeah, we also collect these socks, which are kind of like the blue coins in Mario Sunshine, where collecting 10 can give you a shine sprite. Well, here it can give us a spatula. So there you go. Alright, so here we're actually doing a thing called Hans Disable. So we're actually disabling the out-of-bounds detection in the game so that we can go out of bounds in areas we're not typically meant to go to.
We're gonna immediately see that here for our next spatula coming up.
Yeah, normally we're supposed to grab the spatula with a bungee and we're supposed to like platform and stuff, but we're just gonna like jump down to it and it's gonna be real fast.
By disabling Hans, the out-of-bounds detection, well, the trigger here that's supposed to recognize that, hey, SpongeBob is falling into a hole, don't let him do that, just doesn't activate, so we're able to pick up the spatula that's just out in the wild.
Meow.
And, meow. There is actually a mechanic in this game where you're able to use the menu to warp to any like location really in the game as soon as you've unlocked the task. By collecting that golden spatula in the pit, we were able to warp all the way over here, which just further progresses us into the game than we're really supposed to be at this point.
Yeah, here we have 2 back-to-back tricks. I just did them because stuff moves really fast in this game.
This game was very fast.
The first one, we just basically did a pretty precise jump to skip a button that we would normally hit. That saves like 10 seconds. And then this trick that I did with the hammer bot, that's like a 1 frame, and we basically stand on his head to get a specific knockback, and then we do a 1 frame double jump to skip a bunch of the level.
You're gonna hear a lot of 1 frames throughout this run as well. This game very much is one of the kings of 1 frames. It's just... this game has been very well figured out at this point, and there's still plenty more that can be found, but there's a lot of very precise tricks and movement going on here, so...
I just noticed my controller turned off, and that's because I forgot to turn off Rumble. So let me do that real quick.
Okay.
There we go. Alright.
We're all here now, okay.
Yeah, I'm using a 360 controller to OG Xbox adapter, but it's a little wonky where if I have vibrate on, it'll like turn off sometimes.
Talking about your adapter, when you just did Pat's hammer, one of like the most intermediate tricks that you can do that can really like get a hold of beginner players. But we're gonna just keep moving along. As you can see, there's just so much going on in this game that we can be pretty limited in how we can explain.
If you noticed, I walked around Mr. Krabs because we're gonna be setting up some spatula shenanigans later. But basically, Mr. Krabs wants us to pay for freaking golden spatulas, so we have to collect some shinies here, and we're basically gonna do some crazy stuff later on.
That Pat's hammer trick was basically like Rubber just doing a very specific damage boost after walking on top of the face of that robot, which allows you to just launch yourself forward to just barely reach that trigger area for Patrick to just kind of bring you up to the platform and be like, hey, here's the spatula. So
yeah. And then here we just got some cool sync manipulation to hit these tiki stacks. We used to actually just hit these stacks, but now we can just get this pretty quickly. It's really cool. And it's also good for shinies, so...
The shiny count is going to be very important in this game for what is known as the double dupe, which is done in this specific route, where we're going to be duplicating spatulas. We only do 2 in this route, and it's going to have to do with all the shiny stuff mentioned earlier. So our shiny count, basically until the very end of the game, is going to be very important, because we can't go above certain thresholds, and we need to be at certain thresholds in order to hit like the normal spatulas that we're also going to be buying later. How do you feel about Rehydrated, and why do you prefer this version? Because Rehydrated is actually a completely different game. It is not on the same engine. It's just a complete from the ground up remake of the game. So it actually feels very different. It has completely different skips and tech that is being used throughout the run. It looks very different, which is something I can talk about all day. But we're not going to. Oh, hold on.
Alright. I think we're good. Yep.
But yeah, they're both fundamentally very different games.
Anyways, as you saw there, I did a big old super jump there. We call that a SpongeBob displacement jump. And by going on top of that stack of tikis, we're able to preserve a lot of the momentum that occurs whenever we go off the tiki. And we're going to do it again here, but we're actually going to preserve it through a warp. So let's see here.
Oh, you just got that in time.
I'm hoping that works, but if not, we can retry.
We might have to redo that one. Because that tiki, notice how as he got near it, these little, what are known as shush tikis. Wow, that's a lot of height that you just got. The little shush tikis, when they bring it back down, they're supposed to go back up. If he was too slow, that tiki was not going to go back up, and we likely wouldn't have gotten enough height.
But as you saw, I had that big old jump still, because those shush tikis did manage to push up that thunder tiki that we...
That will explode.
Yeah.
And destroy the rest of the tikis, which is why we had to be very careful about that.
Very, very careful about that. But I'm very glad I got it first try.
Very glad you were able to recover that.
Yeah. Yeah, here we just got a bit of just a normal segment, really, to be able to catch our breath, honestly.
Yeah.
But if you're noticing, on the bottom left here, we're collecting some wheels that we're actually going to be using later on in the run, too.
Mm-hmm. We can collect a total of 11. We're not going to do that. We're going to collect about 6, if I'm not mistaken. And you will see that come back, like, in the late game portion of the run.
Yeah, we'll explain it later.
If we have time. If there's time, yeah. For now, this is all fairly casual, I say, until this very precise movement is being done in order to collect this sock. Normally, casually, you're supposed to... You don't collect it until the very end. A little trampoline will summon. That trampoline will take you all the way to the top to go pick it up. Well, we don't need that anymore.
Yeah, we don't really need that stuff, man.
Right there, he just did a damage boost off of what is known as the Duplicatotron 3000, which is an enemy spawner in the game. Just to launch yourself across, just save some time, that way he doesn't have to walk all the way over instead. These tight little optimizations are seen throughout the whole run, whether we call attention to it or not, because there's only so much time.
There's only so much we can really say, yeah. We're coming up on another big old jump. Usually when we store these jumps through warps, we call these vertical momentum storage. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just like uppies, like Jesway had said last year's Link to the Cure, or just, you know, a super jump through a load.
Mm-hmm. Undertale also had a lot to explain. Not surprised to hear that. Is he able to carry it through the load? Excuse me, there we go. And this was done in order to skip. There's a huge invisible wall there to prevent you from entering this is now the second portion of the hub here. So we're accessing it early thanks to that huge jump. Simple as that. Yep. And thankfully there was also a spatula along the way.
Yep. And we're immediately going to leave the second part of the hub to actually go into the third one with this trick known as Rollbuck, that it's your favorite babe, so.
This is part of the reason why I have not yet returned to run this game. But he's using the SpongeBob there to ride along like this wall collision. It's a little bit awkward, but thankfully that's not completely walled off. So we're able to make use of that momentum to just hover over to the chum bucket and collect yet another spatula.
Yep. I think I'm gonna split behind, so.
Yes, you are.
You guys don't see it though, so that's fine. Which I actually want to explain that we're able to actually transform into the SpongeBob kind of in a delayed sense, because we're double jumping and double jumping actually prevents the SpongeBob animation from starting if we hold a neutral stick as we land. So we can just keep chaining those jumps into areas we're not really supposed to turn into the SpongeBob with. So.
For heaven.
He was using the slide momentum there in order to just cut across this level, by the way.
Lots of cool platforming in this game. And we're coming up on more right now.
So thanks to removing the out-of-bounds triggers from earlier, at least that detection, we're able to just cut across here. Again, using some of the momentum from the slide in order to just properly double jump glide over into the nut.
And then you saw me jumping into the nut there because there's actually a little bit of a checkpoint there, and we can just die here and respawn on the nut. Shoutouts to Sky here.
Shout out to Sky and Nitty. Thanks to that really quick checkpoint detection, we're able to just warp right back up here after that death animation. It's a lot. It's a lot. Justway, the intended commentator who unfortunately wasn't able to join us tonight. I know he did a lot of prep work when this run was brought up last year, and we'll do our best.
We have his notes pulled up, luckily. I still don't know how he managed to even commentate what he did commentate, because that was a lot, dude.
Also, we were clearing out the Krusty Krab since it was completely infested with robots. That was just done as a normal task for Mr. Krabs here.
Yep, and as you notice, I actually bought a spatula, but I canceled one of the animations by... Hey, I gotta talk to him there.
Yeah.
I canceled the animation by jumping into that spat, which is really cool. And that first spat is technically the first duped spat. Every time we buy a spatula for Mr. Krabs, the amount of shinies we need to buy the next one increases. But because we had walked around that first initial Mr. Krabs, that kind of resets him in a way. So he's gonna want to offer us that that first spatula again for 3,000 shinies instead of the what would be 3,500. I don't split here.
No, you do not.
I almost
split.
split. Dang.
It's because you were a split behind before.
Yeah.
Now you want to be a split ahead to make up for it.
Yep.
So, during this portion of the run, we have 3 major bosses throughout the run. This is the first of the 3, and this initial boss is a barrier to unlocking our first power-up, which we will get upon boss defeat. Here, this boss has 3 different phases, as you can see by the health in the bottom left corner. It's slow.
It's pretty much an auto-scroller. There's not much we can do other than just some manipulations to save a little bit of time. But...
In order to make the boss move into its next animation chain as quickly as possible, there are some manipulations done throughout each phase of the fight. But... well...
yeah, well, it's just kind of, we just kind of have to sit here now. So if you guys have any questions about the run or anything like that, feel free to ask.
But we want to thank you all for coming out and watching, especially those who have been watching the rest of the event as well up until this point, and for those who will hopefully be tuning in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Be sure to consider donating as well.
Yeah, donates and
Child's Play is a great charity. I remember we were looking into it last year when you were initially invited to do this event, and it's for an amazing cause. Please consider donating. Appreciate y'all.
yeah.
And thanks for having Rubber back on. I wasn't supposed to be here, but thank you for having me here too. But we love this game. Any chance that we get to show it off, we're all about it.
Yeah, every so often I'm like, maybe I'll switch to a new game, but this game always brings me back,
Always
man.
brings you back.
I've been playing for like 9 years, so...
I've been watching for about 7.
Yeah.
So this game really sticks with you, and it does have a way of showing its appreciation back if you stick with it.
Yeah.
There's been a lot. There's still being it's still being developed to this day. We still have plenty of people looking into just finding any small optimizations they can. We actually do have a couple of new tricks to show you later in the run compared to last year.
Yeah, compared to last year's run, late game has changed quite a bit. There's definitely 2 new. There's like 3 new tricks, I think. Yeah, because there's Swamp and then the 2
Oh, that's
UCBs,
right. Swamp as well, that is correct.
Yeah.
And it's all in the late game portion. If you have any familiarity with this speedrun, you know when the cruise boosting is kicking in, if you're familiar with that term, that's truly where the run shines. And well, we got some new developments there too. So
Run goes crazy, bro. Alright, yeah, we're up on this last hit.
Yep. We're wrapping up here soon.
I don't know why Sandy has like a donut on her on her suit there. Is that supposed to be a donut or like a lug nut or like a what is that?
It's a nut.
Ah, donut. Get it? Okay, anyways.
Alright, here we go. Heading into mid-game, we're going to be heading into the Goo Lagoon area. Very iconic from the show.
As you saw there, I have unlocked the Bubble Bowl, which is going to lead to some very cool stuff here in the mid-game.
A lot of shenanigans already, just with the first power-up. Slight damage boost to move forward a little bit faster.
There is a 1 frame there, but it's pretty tough.
Very precise. But we're just going to be just cutting along here as close as we can. He went out of bounds there just because, again, you just cut in so much closer.
Yeah.
So it saves a bit of time.
Ooh!
We just did floaty skip. That damage boost is not consistent, but it's a really good one, and it allows you to just skip over that with a lot of momentum. Now, we're using the goo here in order to set up for this slide. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, as you saw there, we just get knocked back, and with some precise jump and slamming, we can carry that momentum, wow. Into a glide of sorts, because for some reason, whenever we slam with SpongeBob while having some momentum into like a wall or something, they'll just start to glide.
Yeah, that's one of the few tricks I believe that's not fully understood as to like why it operates. We just
not
somewhat
completely
know how to recreate it at the very least.
If we had an extra hour, maybe I could get into the weeds, but as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on.
We're cutting across in order to access this pier area, which we're very much not supposed to be able to access quite yet.
Yeah, we're actually kind of doing this level backwards in a sense, and we're actually going to be doing that in a lot of other levels. It's really cool.
But here, Rubber's going to be setting up for a trick known as SBA, which fully, like, spelled out is skee ball abuse. These shinies that we've been talking about throughout the run, where the count matters, this is especially where it matters here. Essentially, this trick is going to allow us to just generate a ton of shinies, just immediately. But we do need to be mindful as to like, how many you get in total. Because, yeah, if you're not familiar with this trick, just know that there's a volume warning in chat.
Volume warning, but also if you're a real one, you just turn that volume up.
You turn it up, you turn it up. It's a party dance. It's a party anthem. So basically, we're going to set these two tikis up in such a way where we're going to wedge the recently unlocked bowling ball. What is it?
The bubble bowl?
The bubble bowl. Like, there you go. We're going to use that. We're going to wedge in between these two tikis. That way so it's just constantly oscillating in there, generating shinies.
Yeah, it's just a trigger that's looking for the bubble bowl in there, but by wedging it in there, it's constantly oscillating. And we get this effect where we constantly gain shinies.
And that noise is also constantly being set off.
Yeah, and now I can't hear my own thoughts.
No, you cannot. But we're going to keep doing some precise platforming here in order to collect other like spatulas that are just out and about in the world here. Beginning with this one, typically you see that little clam off to the side there. Usually we're supposed to pay that in order to be able to call in a bungee, and then we go, or call in a trampoline, which allows us to go up and access this bungee that we're going to be getting to, but we're just going to climb the whole tower, because thankfully all of that has collision. And we're just able to make our way up here. Now, it took a little bit to get up the tower, but thankfully our shiny rate still wasn't amazing.
What?
At that point.
No, I'm kidding. It's pretty loud in my headphones.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
But it hit frame perfect once you did. We're finally up here, so. How's our shiny count looking?
Quite a bit.
Okay. Not too bad. We're ideally looking for about 44.5k shinies. That's like our safe space there. So we're still a little bit short, so we're gonna be generating a little bit more. But yeah. There was a very tight jump done there just now, in order to just pick up the spatula that's down here. Okay, still a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Smidge more, and we're gonna warp out of here. to get back to the beginning of the pier
Nice.
area.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah, we can work with that.
As we mentioned earlier, we can't have too many shiny objects or else a second dupe will not work because of weird Mr. Krabs triggers and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I try to keep it under a certain threshold. Usually under 4,500 or 1,000 rather, but yeah. Oh boy, oh boy,
Also,
oh
when
boy.
destroying that ticket booth, he fell into the goo in order to trigger the death animation. That way we didn't have to sit through the whole cutscene.
Yeah, most cutscenes in this game you can skip. There's a few like that one where it'll just kind of force you to sit there and watch. But by just drowning in the goo, we skip it. So, really cool.
This is another instance of us just continuing to complete the level backwards. Now that we have picked up the spatula, we're just going to warp straight to it, which takes us to the very beginning of the level. And now we're going to be back in the main Goo Lagoon area. Here we're going to be setting up for a damage boost with this initial hammer bar. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay. It
Not
still
too
brought
bad.
you over here.
Yeah.
And we're going to be using the bubble bowl in order to hit the trigger for a button that's just off there in the distance.
Nice.
Which will expose this spatula so that we can collect it. I'm surprised that worked.
Yeah, I actually landed, but it still somehow counted as drowning, so that was nice.
Do you want to explain what you were doing there, why you drowned?
Yeah, so I warped to the wrong place. I jumped into the goo to get a bit of a knockback and then collected the spat so that way I could drown and not have to watch the spat animation. It saves like 0.1 there, so it's not even that much worth it, but it's cool, okay? If it's cool, I like doing it.
Okay, but splitting hairs like that makes a big difference when it comes to top BFBB players like yourself, so... This portion of the run is just completely RNG. We're just gonna clear out all the robots here as fast as we possibly can. Let's see. Rats. Well, maybe we'll explain that when we are actually able to make it work later. Once again, this is another instance of us just skipping the spatula collecting animation. But I'm gonna let Rubber focus here for a second.
So, that bubble.
Nice. Okay. Do you want
So
to explain the tick storage?
Yeah, so by hitting Bubble Buddy and talking to him on the same frame, we're able to delay his text until after his animation of like being hit is over. And we kind of overlap that with buying a spatula for Mr. Krabs, which sets up a second dupe.
It's all about these dupes.
Yeah, and so we're actually going to be able to buy another, basically like first spat for Mr. Krabs again later on. Really cool.
We just did another damage boost with that sleepy bot. Set it up in such a way so where we were able to wake it up that way, but it wouldn't hurt him, so that he wasn't too offset from that initial damage boost. We're actually going to do it again here. This damage boost being used. That's not enough momentum, unfortunately. But these damage boosts, again, they're just being used to really just launch you across and allow us to access platforms in a way that we're not supposed to be able to casually.
Hey, there we go.
But at least now we're able to reach this one.
There we go.
Gotta love the damage boost in this game.
Yep, here's another one.
Yep. Oh.
Nice. Alright, so yeah, some damage boosts, we're actually able to sort of turn them into 2 frames instead of 1 frames. Because instead of just doing a jump, we can actually bash out of some of those damage boosts. So by hitting Y and then A a frame later, we essentially turn them into 2 framers. And I'm going to try that here.
Here's another damage boost here.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, and then we got the fast one, dude.
He was able to carry out that momentum all the way through to just still be launched forward while picking up the spatula, which, yep, that ultimately does save time, because that's less time that you gotta spend walking. Welcome in, everybody, by the way. Here we are collecting the hardest spatula in the game. It's called Talking to Patrick.
You just have to talk to Patrick, and that's it. That's the hardest spat in the game, yeah.
We easily could have messed that up. We gotta be careful here.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful.
But here we go. Now we're turning in all the shinies that we collected earlier during the SBA segment, also known as the very, very loud segment. We're going to turn them all in here in order to just get that much more golden spatulas. Just like this, all we got to do is sit here and wait.
Yep. So there's actually a tiny little strat going on here that I actually found years ago.
By accident.
By accident, kind of. Well, I kind of just realized that I'm like, hey, okay, so the spatula's spawning right on top of this rock, and we used to just talk to Mr. Krabs from like right as soon as we could. But I realized if we stand here on top of this rock, we're standing on the spot where the spat spawns, so we actually start the spat animation like 0.3 seconds faster than we would have if we just talked to him from further away. So it ended up saving like 2 seconds, I think, overall.
Yeah, overall, yep.
Shoutouts to me, bro.
Thank you, Anonymous, for the $10 donation. Reminder, everybody, we're here supporting Link to the Cure, supporting the Child's Play charity. It's for a very good cause. We would appreciate y'all to consider donating if you'd like. And if you're not unable to donate at the time, we appreciate y'all being here with us today.
Yep. Here we have the second major boss, Robo Patrick, and he's gonna give us the cruise missile once we defeat him. But much like Robo Sandy, there's not much we can do with him other than just try to optimally make him go through his phases. So, I mean, again, if you guys have questions, because this will be the time to ask.
Questions, comments, concerns.
I would hope people don't have concerns, but...
I would hope so, yeah, and me too, but... People still hear you out at least, we got time.
Yeah, there you go.
It's all just optimization, and it's like, you're not even really manipulating him, no? Because this is a very RNG dependent segment as well.
It's pretty much RNG.
Yeah.
Like, technically, if we were task perfect, you could, like, always know where he's gonna land, but... Right? Human variances and stuff.
So there's slight stuff that you especially see later that can be considered manipulation, but it's really just trying to get through the segment like, as best as possible. Where can folks go to get into running this? How are the resources for new players? There is a very comprehensive tutorial that was made. When was that tutorial made?
think it was 2020, wasn't it?
2020. A beginner tutorial that was done by the world record holder Shift. That is still a very like relevant and like fairly up to date.
It's really good for beginners.
It's very good for beginners. When you're a beginner, your platform isn't really of the biggest concern. Just use whatever platform is most accessible to you to run. Dolphin is legal in this community up to a certain minute threshold, but that's like sub-hour at that point. In which case, well, you can have a more thorough look at the rules and speak with moderators then about switching off if you need to. But yeah, that tutorial is still like one of the best ways of getting into the game. It's very comprehensive. The route is still very solid. And if you're looking for your next steps, feel free. There's a Discord dedicated to this game on the speedrunning scene. There's always people there that will do their best to help you answer any questions that you have, and you could always just look into the category, like on Twitch.
Yeah.
If there's people running the game, odds are if you ask them a question in chat, they'll be there to help.
They'll know how to help out. Yeah.
That's what Rubber does. You set somebody up last week with the practice mod.
I did?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. So. Yeah, if we can get clearance on that, Tristle. Boomster is a part of the community, and those links will be good. Yeah. There's a lot of resources available, thankfully. So all it comes down to is, well, free to ask, or feel free to look at that video, and that video will absolutely get you on your way.
Yep.
That's what I used when I ran. I just haven't returned to the run in a while because I've been focusing on a different game.
Yeah.
But this game has had a very big and dedicated community. It's been very long lasting, this game. It's been around for so long, so even if all you can do is just hang out and watch, well, I'll take that too.
Always appreciate the lurkers and stuff, dude.
Always appreciate people that are willing to give their time of day to this game.
Yeah. Alright.
Coming up on the last hit here. And this boss will be unlocking the cruise bubble, or the cruise missile, which is going to enable us to do something known as cruise boosting, which is going to be very essential to the entirety of the late game portion of the run. If you had a second, this is your second, how would you explain cruise boosting?
So you go up to the wall, and then you cruise boost, and then you do another cruise boost, and there you go.
Shoutouts to Cole.
Shoutouts to Cole.
The legendary tutorial from back in the day.
Gotta love tutorials like that. That's how I learned, genuinely.
That is how you learn. That is how you learned. But here we go. This is our first cruise boost of the run.
See, like I said, you go up to the wall, you get a cruise boost, then you do it again.
That is a double input frame perfect trick?
Yes,
How you describe
a double
that?
frame perfect input where
There you
we do the bubble bowl and the cruise missile on the same frame, and then we do it again with some movement in between to capture basically more movement, and we can move at double speed. And now we're gonna set up for even more crazy speed, but
This is gonna be an uncapped cruise boost, I
Yeah.
believe that's what that stands for, also known as a UCB. This is the first of many in the run. We're gonna have to reload here. But when we're just go up to the wall and do a cruise boost and then another cruise boost, we can only go so fast. But when we enter in other variables like this Tiki displacing us here,
almost.
which you will hopefully get soon, it gives you a dramatic boost in speed, and this is one of the faster ones. Later we will have a significantly faster version of this trick, but this is going to be the first of many. Once we're able to get this UCB here, we're going to use that speed to just clip through the slide, the side of the slide, excuse me, because this is the longest slide in the game.
I got the slower speed, so...
Unfortunately. So you're not going to get the instant clip out. We're going to have to come to the secondary spot for it. But here we go, and now we're just free falling.
So
towards the end of the
essentially,
slide.
I'm going to go, I guess, a little bit into it, but we're
Thank
able to
you,
get
Chris.
these really, really fast boosts by displacing ourselves with the Tiki falling on our head. And by having a little bit of downward momentum, somehow that tells the game... Oh, right, I don't have the good speed.
Yeah, you don't have the good speed. So I'm able to clip through here.
If we didn't have that downward momentum, we would just be clipping through that Tiki, but for some reason the game tells SpongeBob that, hey, don't clip through the Tiki if you have a little bit of downward momentum. So that's why you see me do a little bit of a spin, a jump spin. And yeah, I can go more into it, but
We'd be here all day.
I have to go, bro.
We'd be here all day.
Yeah.
Point being, all those shenanigans make us go really, really fast. But thankfully it doesn't just clip us straight into the floor. We're allowed to still keep moving around in like the overworld as is. Just another cruise boost here, just to speed up the segment.
Just a little
Any
bit of a
cruise
speed
boost
up,
is
yeah.
gonna be faster than you just walking. So this is one of the newer UCBs found.
Grab this.
But yeah, we need a bit of shinies. We need to watch our shiny count here because we need to have enough to buy the shiny or to buy the spatula in the end.
Of course I get this one, dude.
Wow. This is brand new to this showcase ever since we showed it last year. Previously, this was a completely different trick that Rubber was really bad at.
Yeah.
But now that we just have a UCB here instead, yeah, UCBs tend to be saved for like extreme high level play. They're not consistent. It's very easy to just lose a lot of time to them due to how difficult they are. There are alternative tricks that aren't as difficult, like the one that was previously done during this segment.
Alright, so...
But Rubber's gonna go for it anyway.
Yeah, so what happened there was, well, I got another UCB, right? Really fast speed. And by going through the box there, I was able to barely touch that spat at the end, and then the box teleports me back to Mrs. Puff, who's like, oh, congratulations, you beat my time. And so she gives us another spatula, but we're still doing the animation of the previous spatula, so we're able to kind of skip that second spatula's animation, because we
were still finishing up the first one.
Yeah. So, really cool stuff. I like that.
This is more cruise boosting movement, just to be able to skip some platforming that you're supposed to do to get to this point in the level.
Oh, so much stuff, man.
There's so much going on, and we're just gonna keep chugging along because this is yet another cruise boost being used to just save time on movement. Instead of having to hit that little dial that he had just jumped over, we can just, well, use our cruise boost to just jump along.
So right there, I actually did a bash, but with the camera held down, and that's actually considered a lag bash, because whenever you move the camera around in this game, lag can occur, and that can make our jumps go higher. Or bashes, whatever. So, really useful for that bash specifically.
We're gonna have another clip coming up here. This is a sub-boss. This is like a mini-boss But the debug trigger in order to just beat this boss is right there, right outside. So all we have to do is just clip out.
Okay, here we go, here we go.
All we have to do is clip out and reach that trigger. Did that hit?
Yes. Oh!
Wow.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I was able to actually leave the level, but there's a little bit of an animation. So during that animation, I touched the spatula, and then on the very first frame that I entered the next level, I inputted the cruise missile, which actually cancels the spat animation. Very cool.
And he used the cruise missile to hit a button for a spatula collection later in this level. But because the game still wanted to do that spatula animation, the camera was locked, right?
Yes.
Where SpongeBob is supposed to be completing the animation. That's why the camera didn't actually like follow behind SpongeBob there.
Yeah, the camera got wonky there because it was trying to do the spat animation, but it never did. So, oh
wow,
my gosh!
Look at that!
Oh!
This is all yours. This is all yours, babe. This is your
okay.
segment.
So, earlier I said that we get displacement to get like faster speed, and you saw that speed right there. Whenever we get displaced by either wedging between stuff or stuff like just crushing us, whatever. If we bowl on the frame of that displacement, we get a huge freaking boost.
Yep.
And then we chain that into clipping into the ballroom cage with another displacement L clip instead. An L clip is basically the same as a cruise boost input. I let go of that earlier.
Yeah, you did.
It's the same as a cruise boost input, except we're going too fast that he can't actually cruise boost, and instead he'll just do kind of the cruise missile animation for one frame, and that animation for some reason lets us clip through stuff if we're going fast enough. So it's really interesting. Here's another UCB by wedging in between the rock, and now we're just gonna have some tight movement.
Just moving as fast as possible as we can along this level, picking up another warp, picking up the spatula. Normally he's supposed to go off to the side and fall into the goo, which would cancel out of this animation, but oh well.
Oh well, I don't split there.
No, you do not.
There we go.
And from this point on, we're going to be completing this level backwards, no?
Yes. There was a new strat here, but I completely forgot about it.
It's just a new place where you do that initial cruise boost to get up here. Basically, we're going to use this cruise boost to hit the trigger to begin the slide, but since we entered in backwards and activated this box, we're just going to work all the way to the end.
Yep. There we go. You win. Return to Mermaid Man. So, we're just gonna warp to him. Thank you. There we go.
Thank
Youpie.
you. Gonna continue completing this backward once again.
Here's another spatula that, yep, we're not really supposed to be getting now, but because we're doing it backwards, it's just sitting there.
And we're gonna warp to that exact spatula that we just picked up, just to be brought back to the beginning of the segment. This is another new trick discovered since the last showcase.
Yeah.
Gonna activate a cruise boost just to make this stall go by faster, but also to set up for this. This little clip upcoming here.
Oh!
Wow.
Very cool strat. What?
How about that?
Heard a car honking, dog's like, what the heck's happening?
I guess we're just gonna skip over that. Here,
Alright.
We went back to pick up enough wheels. That way, so we had 6 total, and that's where we do a trick called CCA.
Yes, CCA. That's collectible counter abuse. I don't even know if I can have time to explain that, dude.
We messed with the game to make it think that this 6 of this last thing we collected is being applied into this new area.
Yeah, so Mrs. Puff is basically looking for 6 art pieces if you look on the bottom left. But those wheels that I had mentioned earlier in the run, right, we got 6 of them. And so by holding L on the first frame that we enter the level, we keep the last collectible like number that we had. So that's why we went to downtown, and then we came to rock bottom. Wow.
We brought her wheels. She thought it was paintings.
Yeah, there you go.
So we were able to collect that spatula, but now we're doing yet another UCB. We're just explaining all these paintings away when it's like you're doing like some of the fastest movement in this entire game. This has been discovered since this was discovered after the previous showcase. And it's just allows us to collect all of these socks and spatulas just immediately in the hub world. It allows us to skip having to enter the museum, which was towards the end of that initial level before Rubber whipped himself back around.
Here we did another CCA. That's why I went to downtown again to get the 6 wheels, and then trick Mrs. Puff to think it was the 6 campers.
Yep. Poor Mrs. Puff. She can't catch a break, can she?
She doesn't know any better, dude.
It's okay. I'm sure those campers will fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna use yet another cruise boost here just to like help us optimally move throughout this level. This is Squidward's dream here.
Yeah,
this used to be actually some of the most difficult cruise boost movement in the game.
Yeah,
if you believe it.
And now we have 3,000 shiny objects again, which is going to be the last dupe spat that we get. All right.
So that's
Yeah. Okay, that was okay.
Trying to set up so that SpongeBob could be moving further along while picking up that spatula, since we can't skip that animation as of now. But here we're gonna set up for yet another
I'm gonna go for this one.
UCB. Let's see if we find something else to talk about rather than explaining how this one works. But it's more of the same. This Tiki's gonna be displacing Sponge in such a way that we're just able to capture a ton of speed, so that we're able to navigate throughout the level with it. There's 2 setups for this one. The previous setup that Rubber was going for is the faster of the 2. But
this isn't fast enough.
oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Sometimes this Tiki can displace me twice, and that second displacement gives a smaller boost that isn't useful for me.
We do have a minimum speed threshold that we need to be hitting here. Some of these tricks, it's like you do need to be going significantly faster than we're potentially able to get there in order to make it happen. This is one of those tricks. You can get a slower speed than you need. But here we go. We're gonna just clip through and go to the bottom portion of this level. This is all, like, typically you're supposed to, like, buy a clam that will lower this goo level, and then we can navigate it, like, with a sponge ball. It's a whole thing.
Well, we're supposed to hit the goo tanker. That's what shuts off the goo, and then
you're right.
that's what brings the goo down. Oh.
You missed the spatula. Give us a second.
Yeah, give us a second here to collect this. Come on, SpongeBob.
But since that is still solid ground, regardless if the goo has been brought down or not, well, if we just clip down and, like, jump back up into it, nice. Well, we can just collect all the spatulas that are down there anyway, and just clip ourselves back in. Now we're back in bounds, and now we're just gonna still hustle around everywhere to pick up everything, but we're short a sock, but we were still able to prevent ourselves from dying here.
I'll get a backup sock. It's okay.
Yeah, but we have backup socks. It's fine. Like
Speaking
the
of
one here.
This one.
Or just, No, it's fine. Trust.
There
we go. Had to go out a little bit more than you thought.
It was a jump, spin, jump. That's why I hardly go for that backup sock, if you can believe it. Get a little bit of a cruise boost here on Squidward. Come on, Squidward. There we go. Then we can just go out of bounds here and collect this spat.
Once again, removing Hans here is allowing us to just, like, pop back in. Still showing its worth to remove him all the way to the end. I'm sorry, Hans. I love you, but we need these spatulas now. We need them now. More cruise boosting movement here to just skip just more platforming. Cruise boostings really, like, open up a lot to just speed up, like, navigation in this game.
Alright, we're safe.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, every time we grab a spat with cruise boost movement, that movement is just locked. I can't move at all, but there is a trick to kind of unlock the camera. Wow, I can't believe I got that.
Wow.
That's really cool, because that kind of lets us move during a spat animation, in a sense. But here we got some more platforming. We're almost done with the game, by the way. This actually went a lot better than I thought.
Well, right now you're hitting all of these buttons in order to trigger this cutscene here. If you want to explain what that does, because technically we're still not doing this correctly as per what the game wants.
Yeah, well, we're supposed to hit that button that the chest opened up, but we really don't need that spatula, so we're not going to get it. We're just going to get these 2 other spatulas for hitting the cannon, which that spawns the trampoline that let us get up here. And That was Dutchman's. Let's see if I can get this.
Whoa.
Ah,
No.
there's another spatula animation skip there, but didn't quite get it.
We're just gonna turn in our last remaining stocks and finish up here. Because this is where the last spatula in the game is in order to access this 75 threshold.
But they don't serve love.
Just gonna bash up here for it.
Nice.
And now we're gonna enter to the final main boss of the game. As we saw very briefly, because it went by pretty quickly, in the prawn sub-boss, in the Mermalayer section of this game, this boss is actually the only one of the major bosses that has a debug trigger that we can access, which we activate with this really high jump that we could do here. Unfortunately, we didn't get quite enough height from it. Let's go again.
This might work. Yep.
There we go.
Wow.
We were able to hit the debug trigger, which allows us to skip right into the next and final phase of this fight.
Which we're also just going to be skipping a lot of the platforming that we're supposed to do. There's actually a lot of robot fights and platforming we're supposed to do, but with cruise boosting, as usual, we can break into this brain.
And we're just gonna clip directly into the mainframe.
Yeah.
So there's supposed to be there are three fuses that we're supposed to be hitting with the cruise missile, but since we were able to just pop in here, we're just gonna bowl them away. Well, this one we're gonna hit it directly. Just do some platforming throughout the three of these fuses to just hit them all right back to back.
And that's time.
That's time. That's the end of the run.
This was actually a pretty decent run.
It was. Wasn't
Wow. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know we're really rushed on this, but this game is just so fast, but I love it. I love every second of it.
This game goes by very quickly. There's a lot of moving parts going on. We weren't going to be able to touch into every little thing. We did our best. I wasn't even supposed to be here. Shoutouts to our buddy Just Sway who commentated last year. Hope he's doing alright.
Hope he's doing good, yeah.
But we appreciate all of y'all being here and attending the run. Again, reminder, be sure to donate. Please consider donating for a very good cause. We do have a little bit of overtime.
I always like showing off this one glitch because we did finish basically 10 minutes early. Because I always give myself
a 55-minute estimate.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
How
55.
about that?
Hey man, gotta be cautious with
You never know
how
with
crazy
this
this run
game. You never know with this game.
Yeah.
We had a couple UCB hiccups and it definitely could have been a lot worse. So
We could have soft locked.
we also did a soft log. That middle portion of the game after we were in Sandy's tree dome, the whole thing where he was hitting Bubble Buddy. Yeah, we didn't mention that at the point because I didn't want to manifest it happening. Get a backup save just in case, but. Okay, we're on the clear to show off some stuff. So
Cool.
He's gonna show off his favorite glitch in the game because Rubber here is a glitch hunter above all else. Really, he loves just breaking apart games. Which I mean, we need him in the speedrunning scene. We need him.
So this is gonna be called Paper Sandy, but you're gonna see that she's actually gonna discombobulate a lot. Wow, she already reached the center. Jesus. Okay, let's try this again. Might take a little bit, but kind of a flashing lights warning too, because it can get kind of hectic.
She's
Come on,
slowly
Sandy.
turning upside down. If y'all can see that already.
I think I need to be more centered.
What?
Uh,
Well, how about that?
Yeah, grab it.
Yeah, we could have crashed earlier.
Yeah, we could have
We
crashed.
really could have. I mean, we almost
Bandicoot.
crashed
No.
here otherwise.
Oh, she's going crazy. Alright, there we go. Now, eventually, this weird effect will get stuck on us. There we go. So, it's not Paper Sandy yet, but if I do this, there we go. Upside down, Paper Sandy.
that.
Or Stretchy Sandy, whatever's good.
Yeah. that
Why
too.
does this happen? I'm not sure. Something to do with getting really close to 0 on the swinger. Just really messes up her animation. You might be wondering if my hitbox is affected. Not necessarily. Like, I'm still technically here where her shadow is. But her, like, actual, like, kicking and punching, this actually does get extended. And we can see this in action if we try to hit this Duplicatortron from here. Let's see if I can get this.
Oh.
Eventually it'll hit. Because the hitbox is going just back and forth really fast, so... There we go.
about that.
I hit it from all the way over here.
But like your ability to be hurt doesn't extend though.
Yes.
It's just like was you doing any hit animations. Paper Sandy and the 1,000-year golden spatula by the way.
Yep.
100%.
If I use my lasso move here, you can actually see how crazy it's going back and forth.
Wow, look at that.
That's basically what the hitbox is doing, right? When I'm punching and kicking, it's going back and forth like that.
So that's why it wasn't like hitting the Duplicatotron immediately, but also eventually did.
And I can hit the button that's way over there on the laser.
Oh.
Let me see if I can get this. I know it has to be a low kick, and I don't quite remember the. Because I know camera angles also affect Sandy, but I'm gonna see if I can hit this.
Shout out to Sandy though, that's my girl.
Yeah,
No.
shout out Sandy.
That's your girl now too though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on. I know I can hit this button. This
Can
is
you do it
really
with SpongeBob
finicky.
or only with Sandy?
No, it's just Sandy. SpongeBob, his, I don't think his spin stretches as much.
Okay.
Yeah, Sandy did eat the gum gum fruit.
She really
Shout out
did.
to One Piece, yeah. Hopefully I can hit this. I can't remember exactly.
You don't remember where it was?
Yeah.
Just trust us. You saw what happened to the Duplicatotron. Just like imagine that happening there too, because all these lasers have buttons on them that you're supposed to hit to deactivate them, or to set them off, and then they get deactivated. So.
It was just a regular chop, because I was doing a kick.
Yeah. Aren't you supposed to have the camera dead on too?
It's supposed to be like this,
Oh,
and
is
then
it?
eventually it'll be
Okay.
like clunk. But oh well, if it doesn't work,
That's okay.
that's okay.
Some
Maybe
other...
it's shy. Oh, hey!
There you go. There we go.
There's proof that she's very stretched out.
Some other developments that we've had since the last showcase was pause storage being found, which allows us... We mentioned about duplicating spatulas in the run before. We actually can manually, we can duplicate these other spatulas or recollect the same spatula multiple times more so. Like the overworld spatulas, that has been found since the last showcase, but that is its own any percent category, which we did not showcase tonight because... we didn't want to.
we didn't want to? Yeah.
That run is very different compared to what's being done in any percent that doesn't allow, or that doesn't do that trick. Because as of now, that's also only PlayStation 2.
Nope. Alright, what's another trick I can show off? That's,
People haven't seen that for the Hundo stuff.
what, swingerless?
See, no?
I can't do swingerless.
Oh,
I've
What
only
about
done it
Posnut?
once.
What about Posnut?
That's gonna take a while now. I can't show that off either.
No, you cannot.
Not that good yet.
There's a lot
Maybe.
of, very technical tricks that are possible in this run. They're just very difficult to do.
Yes, the $400 backwards compatible PS3. Yeah, I do have a PS2, but I'm not gonna freaking connect that, dude.
We don't even know if it works. We haven't plugged it in.
We haven't.
Oops.
Maybe I can show this off. I haven't done this in forever, but let's see here. I forget the angles that I would use, so that's plus out LCB Kids. Oh, you know what? That's a good one. That's a good one.
This is a collectible for Mrs. Puff that we actually do complete for once.
Yeah.
What he's setting up here to do is known as LCB Kids or LCB Balloons. And basically you're just going to assist Mrs. Puff by getting these children. They're all just in the air because they just got too many balloons. They don't seem to be in distress, but obviously Mrs. Puff doesn't want them to just be stuck in the air, so we're going to help her out and bring them down. And we're just going to do it very quickly, as speedrunners do.
Yeah, if you notice, I actually cruise boosted off a ledge. I can get them later. I cruise boosted off a ledge, which ledges actually displace you a little bit. So that little bit of displacement is enough. Rats. Is enough to get us a bit of a boost. There we go.
There we go. Don't worry, the kids get floaties. If they're in the goo, they're fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, they do. They do actually, huh?
Yeah, they do.
Well, I think now they're gone, so...
Oh, no. There's one right there. That one
right
landed
here.
in the sand, so they're fine.
They have floaties,
Yeah, they do have floaties. They're okay. They're okay. Kids are fine.
Where's Mrs. Puff?
Well, you don't have it because you haven't spoken with her.
Oh, right. I never actually spoke
Yeah,
with her.
you need to speak with her, and that'll unlock that door. This menuing feature is never really spelled out that you can do this in the game, but it's very essential to the speedrun. But any task you either unlock by collecting the spatula outright, or by speaking to the character that issues you the task, or by walking into the area that gives you the task.
Yeah. How do you cruise boost in detail?
Oh,
Okay,
this is your
yeah.
chance to do
Now I
that,
can get
yeah.
into the weeds.
You really
Alright, so... Right, we have the bubble and the cruise missile. Right? If we do it at the exact same time... Okay, if we do it up against the wall at the exact same time... I was like hoping he was going to do it. If we do it up against the wall at the exact same frame, you get a slow cruise boost.
And you hear the slow, like, just that little...
That ticking noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we do it again, but with a little bit of movement, this movement actually gets captured into that second cruise boost, and now you can see I have a lot more speed. I can't even move backwards anymore.
You can only, like, yeah, pivot backwards.
I can only pivot or kind of do this where, like, I just...
To stay in place. You can stay in place with this, but now you can no longer just move back.
Yeah.
Backwards. Completely.
And then the ledges actually give us a bit of a boost. Let's see if I can do it just like here. Or like here, maybe? Okay, you see that? There's a bit of a boost. So little bits of displacement. Like this rock. If I can get it right. Let's try again.
To be fair, you haven't done this in an actual run.
Oh, there we go.
But yeah, here we go.
I displaced a little bit, and now I have a bit of a faster boost. Now I can't even stay in place.
Nope.
Because of displacement. And then the final one.
When we have the displacement, you saw how multiple what we call UCBs, just constantly having those tikis just fall on your head.
Yeah, that's a huge displacement. What's
That
like
just,
an easy one I
adds
can
more
do
to it that you haven't shown off yet.
that I haven't really shown off? Yeah. Well, it's
we had some, I think, recommended earlier, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Well, maybe you can do the fast Dutchman.
Oh,
one.
the faster one.
Maybe we can give that a shot again.
Yeah,
Is Fern
epsilon
also?
delta definition and explain how it applies to. Oh yeah. We do have delta time in the game, so you're almost there. Sure.
So let's give this one another shot. When we see this tiki just fall on him, doing yet another display.
Oh.
Well, you did see that displacement.
That displacement.
We weren't able to capture it, but that big old launch, that speed is what we're trying to capture here.
Ah.
Oh, yep,
Go back
do it
around.
again,
Go
do it
back
again, it's okay.
around.
Oh, well. You gotta be a little bit more forward than that.
Little bit.
Yeah, as you can see from other people in the community recommending stuff in the chat, there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yep.
There's so many different, like, very, like, amazing and just technically impressive tricks that have been found in this game. Some of them suited for categories like 100%.
Well, here we
up,
go.
and others where we can only show so much in one single run.
Yeah. Alright, so UCBs. The reason this works is because of downwards momentum. So right now, technically I have about like maybe 35 speed. But I'm moving currently at 18.9 speed, and that's the capped speed that the game gives us whenever we have any downwards momentum. For some reason, cruise boosting keeps downward momentum even when you land. So that's why we move at this like slower speed. But as soon as I jump, I go way faster because positive momentum actually uncaps that speed.
Completely uncapped.
So bashing or jumping or slamming even.
That's why if you really just pay attention to it, you see that every time he's up in the air, it's moving faster than every time he's grounded.
Yeah. Very cool.
There's so much cool stuff in this game. There's only so much time we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
We couldn't even explain them while you were doing it because
Yeah.
they're just... it's so easy to get lost in the weeds because this game has... The community in this, like... The community has just found so much. They've really got in the weeds with this. There's also a decomp currently being done for this game as well. Shout out to the decomp.
Shout out to the decomp project.
So, hopefully, once this game is out for, like, PC, that's also going to be a really just big boost to the game. So, if you're interested in this game at all, whether it's just watch as a viewer, that's what I've been consistently doing over the years, or if you want to play, maybe someday you can reach the level of a rubber. You never know. You never know unless you try.
Yeah.
If you're interested, please consider checking out the beginner tutorial that was done by Shift about half a decade ago at this point, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Or just check out the category, check out the Discord, check out the leaderboards. The leaderboards also has some direct resources there as well. Don't hesitate to ask questions. We love this game. Rubber especially can talk about this game all day.
Oh yeah.
This game has been the main one that I've kept up with. I personally have been running Madagascar 1, so that's where a lot of my attention has been in, but this game will always mean a lot to me. That's how I met you.
It's how we met each other. So that's even more special to me now, you know?
So, yeah. But we appreciate y'all showing up.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the
having
donations.
us.
Donate more if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, there's more streams.
There's gonna be more runs tomorrow. Please consider stopping by. Follow and hit the bell, because we have bells now
hit
on
the bell.
Twitch.
Leave 5-star rating.
Yeah.
Leave a good Yelp review. Tell your friends. Tell your mom.
To donate.
To
Child's
donate.
Play.
Yeah.
Shout out Child's Play, and thank y'all for having us again. Thank y'all so much.
Thank y'all.